Okay, we're back to Crying Suns again. This is my third video about it, hopefully my last. My goal is to win Sector 3 of the first chapter, and then put this sucker to bed. I mean, I'm going to keep playing it on my own time, obviously. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to get all the way to the end of Chapter 6. But I'm not going to make you watch me that entire time. Instead, we'll move on to other games next week. But I am determined to get through this entire chapter. So this is going to be the boss of Sector 2, and we'll see how this goes. One of Mother's sector bosses. Wait, I gave that a bad guy voice. That wasn't right. Anyway, you're that imp that took care of Skeege in the last sector. This guy's name is Jeff Skagg. I am, and I'll take care of you if you get in my way. Mom told me to kill you nice and dead. Now I see why. You're kind of mean. Here we go. All right, so what's he got? He's got all fighters. So I need to probably not use drones, except these nano drones can't actually be targeted by adjacent units, so they're probably fine. But what I really want the most is frigates. I need frigates. And the Impaler, this is my artillery ship, which means I can do damage to this guy from afar. I have, did I have an opportunity to heal that I just missed up? Maybe this is going to be a very short battle and I'm going to die because I don't have enough health. So that's making me nervous. Let's see how this goes. So let's place this here, place that there, and place these here, and unpause. Yeah, so Cloudcraft says that he's been obsessed with Autonauts while I've been obsessed with this game. You'll have to tell me about Autonauts one of these days. All right, so it's so funny to have a squadron with half health that's damaged because in my other game I've been playing with the second battleship in Chapter 2 at home, and it's got a modification which means it can, I think it can recharge its squadrons much faster, but they only get up to a quarter health, and so I'm used to dealing with much weaker squadrons. So let's get these guys out here. Okay, so they've got, I thought they were gonna come out with all fighters, but they've got drones too, which is a problem. It's enough of a problem. I think I might actually, I'm gonna pull this guy in and replace him pretty soon. Okay, so he's coming right out. Okay, can I at least get him to fire once? Bang, okay, get out of there. So I do not want these guys anywhere near my frigates. These guys are okay though. And they're healthier too, and they can't be targeted by them, so that's sweet. So once that cruiser goes away, please go away, cruiser, they're gonna start annihilating me. I've got to get something in here that is effective against at least drones. So let me throw a fighter in. There. Oh, there. Let me send my frigate down here and throw these guys into the mix too. Yeah, they are doing massive damage to me, which is a big problem. Yeah, they just took down one of my entire health bars. So I planned this poorly. I should have reacted better to, of course, I don't really know where those drones came from. The drones are what messed me up. Okay, my weapons are still charging. I need to stop these guys. Maybe I send my flash guys out? Not what I needed right now. Okay, hull breaker laser. I think, is this only, can I only aim this? Yeah, I can only aim this at them. Well, let's do it. That's not working at all. Okay, I've got a flat cannon. Does it have... Yes, 3 in a row. This is going very badly for me. Let's get some fighters. Okay, we cannot let them get anywhere near that again, or I am absolutely screwed. So let's withdraw that guy. Let's get some cruisers out here. And some fighters, since, wait. Since why not? All right, yeah. Oh, of course. Flat cannon. Okay, so this cruiser's pretty powerful. Oh yeah, so they've got reinforcements here. So that's the thing that I missed, that I miscalculated, is I didn't notice that they have these sort of free reinforcements that show up that are drones, it looks like, generally. Oh, I forgot that my hullbreaker laser was here. Let's see if I can make their squadrons show up slower. Yes. And I did enough damage to their hull. And I knocked them down a peg. This cruiser is incredibly powerful. Wow, I just took down another segment of his hull. That's crazy. Okay, so we've got some drones showing up, but my fighters are going to be excellent at taking them out. There's a lot of them, though. Can I do a lot of damage to them with this? Turns out, yes. Oh, no, you don't. You get back here right now. Stop it. Oh, meanwhile, you go and damage the crap out of that ship. My hull is going down. Okay, okay. And they were boomers. They took a last segment out of my hull right as they were dying. This is going extremely poorly. Let's get back up there. Oh, they're about to launch a bunch of nonsense. Okay, we've got a hullbreaker laser though. Let's try to take their squadrons out. Okay, their squadrons are down. We just need to get one more shot off. And I'm burned. Oh, dang it. Now these guys are gonna take my last segment of hull out, and there's nothing I can do unless if this bullet hits that hull before these guys get next to me, I'll make it. Oh my gosh! That is crazy. I can't believe we pulled that out right at the last second. I had a very similar battle at home with my other save game, and I lost that one. I came within like 5 points of taking them down, and I got taken out instead. Similarly, because I neglected an artillery cruiser on their side. So, whew, we are at the border shop, and we are going to fix the heck out of our ship. Let's see, what else do we want? More squadrons out at once would be really cool. That's what I usually spend the big bonanza at the end of a mission on, at the end of a sector. So we've got all these ships. We also need fuel. It actually, honestly, like, these damaged ships don't feel that bad to me because I've been playing with a battleship that has even more damaged ships at home. So maybe I'll spend this on fuel, and then, I don't know. We'll figure out what we want, or we'll repair different stuff later. Let's look at the star map. All right, so for those of you who have joined us late, like Cloudcraft, this game is structured a lot like a game like FTL. It's like a long trek roguelike. You've got this sector map that you're trying to get through. At the end of each sector map is a boss you need to fight. There's something red chasing you from the left side of the screen, much like FTL. Only instead of managing a single ship, you're managing a fleet that's housed inside a carrier, like a big battleship. So you kind of, you go from procedurally generated series of challenges from one to the next. Okay, it looks like... Okay, the Neo End child is there. I missed this last time, so I need to take a route that'll get me here. I'm thinking the best route is probably doink, 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 or maybe down first. I can make some money, spend some money here, make some money, spend some money. That's probably a good move. So let's go this way. Cloudcraft, the enemy AI in this is not extremely clever. So, like, they won't necessarily pull back to defend their mothership if I attack it, but sometimes they will do cleverer things. I don't know, maybe it varies over the course of the game. I've only gotten into the second chapter so far, even in my game at home, so I can't tell you how much smarter the AI gets over time. There's a shipping crate with no escort. Yeah, let's check it out. Probably gonna get everyone killed. The door's blasted away, and functional omnis? Ooh. Nope. Dead omnis. But we got some scrap out of the deal. That's good. Scavenge some fuel. 2 fuel, not too bad. This is a tiny area anyway. I guess we'll see what's in the other planet. Mind if I have a word? What is it, Lieutenant? So I was wondering if we might take a moment to mourn for those who have passed away at our journey so far. Mourn for our own past lives? Because we're all a bunch of clones, by the way, who have been trying this again and again. Spend a little bit of scrap for a funeral? I don't know, we're kind of low on scrap. Let's say not a good time? Hopefully I don't regret that for some reason later on. But that's it. That's all we did there. So, okay. Glad I spent some fuel on that garbage. So we could... Okay, so we could go here. There's a battleship wreckage and an army depot. That does seem more valuable. So yeah, let's go this way. An Aki research station. A recorded message. Oh, I've seen this before. If you send commandos in, they all get murdered, but if you have the right expert, the expert can go still kill the monster and get you some scrap out of the deal. I've got a fair number of commandos, but I'm not sure if I've got the right expert. I think I'm gonna skip this. See if I can get some... Oh, that was some garbage fuel collection. Well, maybe there'll be something at the battleship wreckage. Don't attack! It's my first day on the job. Here, take this scrap. Leave me alone. That was the worst pirate I've ever seen. Okay, so let's prepare to go on this mission. Scan the planet. I got 4 officers, so I'm reasonably confident somebody's going to be good at this job. So it looks like, yeah, so this person, my spy/scientist Wheeze, is exceptionally suited to this mission. They might lose up to 6 commandos, but they could also lose as few as 0, and they're going to get almost all of the scrap. So let's launch it with them as the leader. I really wish the shuttle landing animation didn't generally pass through the objects that are in front of the planet. So it looks like my character so far has all the right skills. Ambushed by mutated creatures. I'm betting my spy scientist is not necessarily going to have the skills for this. Oh, they got 1. That's cool. So we've only lost 1 commando so far. Here's the wreckage. So I've got all the skills I needed for that. And we got lots of extra stuff. All the skills, all the scrap. This is exactly what I wanted. Ooh, If I had the ship upgrade that let me retreat with all the scrap, I would probably retreat right now. But let's continue, see if we can get out in one piece. And with more cash. Oh, all we did was get more cash. Well, then yeah, I'm glad I didn't retreat. So, okay, we suffered losses. Kind of the same losses we would have suffered if we'd gone after that monster. So now, we probably have enough to go spend at this army depot. I don't want to run myself completely out of fuel, so let's skip this boring planet and just go to the army depot. Uh-oh. Personally, I don't think anyone who's had fewer than 7 full-body gene modifications can be a good battleship commander. The battle is imminent. So anomaly battles can be really bad sometimes. Sometimes they're completely out of your league. I've got more hull than they have. That's good. So I want to use frigates against them. Except they've got this, so I also need some fighters to take these guys down. So let's get a frigate out there. Let's get our favorite little nano drones. Let's get the Impaler out there. And... what did I, to do? Oh, we wanted a fighter too. Should I do stealth fighters? It's just to take out those drones, right? Let's try it. All right, so this guy goes here, goes here, goes here, and unpause. All right, so they're leading with their fighters. So let's bring out the frigates, and let's let the stealth fighters do their thing. Okay, so these guys just made it through my defenses. I would like them not to. There we go. So I think, allegedly, they're unable to target me. And it looks like maybe that's the case. My frigates are making good progress against these guys, but not enough. Okay, well, my stealth guys are stealthy. Not that that helps them anything with this. Okay, wait, actually... okay, so my stealth guys are gonna do a good job taking them down, but now they're damaged. Let's recover them. I don't want them to die. They're pretty useful. Let's bring out our flash dudes. And it looks like, are these guys really safe from being targeted? Looks like they are. Wow, they're pretty effective. And when they teleport next to somebody, they stun them, so that was valuable. They took some damage from that, though, so let's get them out of there. And then let's bring out that cruiser, because that cruiser's pretty badass. Oh, hello, why are there fighters there? Hey, fighters, you just stop attacking my cruiser. You're the worst. Oh, why did you destroy my cruiser? Were these stealth fighters? Yeah, it looks like these are stealth fighters. They were able to get right up close to me. Without me being able to do much about it. I forgot that I have weapons, though. So that takes care of them. They keep spawning. All right, so I'm gonna hold some guys back here just to defend against these dudes. Regular old fighters. And then, you know what? Let's, okay, so we took out one of their hull segments. That weapon is freaking powerful. It just doesn't get to fire very frequently. Okay, so it looks like I'm placing my guys in the right spots here. Man, that Sub-Zero gun is pretty powerful. So these nano drones lock enemies in place so that it keeps them from getting close enough. Oh, I guess it only locks one enemy in place at a time. Why are you going through them? What? Okay, my frigates are stupid. Why would you do that? Okay, so what I want is to hit both of these enemies with this random assortment of things. I might not be able to do it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I don't have a combination of hits here that's good for me. So let's just hit those guys who are threatening my hull. And let's recall those guys. Actually, bring out these guys here. There we go. Okay, now we've got some more fighters. Ugh! Guess I'll bring back my stealth guys. And let's get up this way. Lock the fighters in place. Yep, you're stuck now. Haha. And then bring these guys up. Oh, my hull breaker's ready. And they're dead. Cool. Whew. And now we're at a shop. DJ Mips asks, are you better at strategizing in games or in real life? I never have to execute this kind of strategy in real life, so I don't know if I could really compare. I am not, for the record though, very good at strategizing in games, and if you watch me for a long time, you'll see that. I tend to get tunnel vision. I tend to focus on a single thing, and strategic games usually want you to be thinking of several things at once. You'll often see me fall behind on, like, my squadrons will either get destroyed or I'll recall them, and then I'll leave their slot open for a long time because I forgot that I've got a slot to fill. And I do that kind of thing all the time. I lost a run in Overland just today because I left a character. I just forgot to move one of my characters, and he got attacked by a monster and died. So, all right, so we can buy some stuff. We get another hull breaker laser, which would be ridiculous. What else can we do? Tesla field generator, space bender. I think the ones that I have are pretty good. So what is this? Minotaurus? Accelerate while moving in a straight line. Deals up to 30 damage on impact depending on speed. So we just what? We just charge straight into enemies? That's interesting. It also will cost most of my scrap. Let's at least make sure we've got enough fuel. Enough commandos. Kind of tempted to try this out though, just to see. Ooh, we've also got a new frigate. You know, I keep running into fighters and I don't have enough frigates. It's got an absorb shield, so it can take one hit. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So we've got a significantly enhanced team now. That's cool. Let's go out to the star map. Move on to Thalith. We've got company, sir. A church ship. Incoming message. Be not afraid of death. Let it wrap itself around you like a comforting blanket. The battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. Okay, so church ships, okay, they tend to have larger ships. They've got stasis to hit enemies. Okay, so this is a cruiser. It's long range. You want to get guys up close and personal with it. So these guys will be particularly good at that, probably. I like this. So we want to have drones and frigates out there. So we'll put out our new prototype frigate with the shield. We'll put out... Actually, these accelerating fighters might be particularly good at taking that thing down. Let's wait on our cruiser and grab more drones. Okay, so these guys teleport. They don't need to be particularly close. And I'll just put these guys all out here. And we want to avoid these. Oh, these turrets have a nice wide range to them. We want to avoid those. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's watch what the enemy does. Okay, so it looks like bringing the cruiser down. So I want to attack the cruiser with my drones, except that these fighters are there. So, but they have to, if they want to avoid getting shot by this turret, they have to follow this very narrow path. So let me see. Actually, let's just wait at the edge of the path. Okay, so they're coming down here in single file. Let's charge in a straight line at these guys. Okay, so let's teleport my teleporty guys to the back. Who should wreak havoc on these frigates. So for those of you who don't know, there's rock, paper, scissors relationships between all these types of ships. And so I'm bringing in my drones specifically to take out these frigates. I should have waited a little bit longer though, because they didn't manage to flashbang these guys when they arrived. So I didn't really see if these fighters were effective in the way that I wanted them to be. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Let's move everyone. Okay, got to get them out of that Tesla field. Let's send these guys back home. These guys are, oh man, they didn't make it. Okay, well let's get more frigates in here. And they're about to bring in 2 cruisers. Okay. Well, let's bring in some guys that'll be effective against those cruisers. And just have them wait here. And once this frees up, we'll bring in some stealth fighters. We'll send them up the northerly route. Okay, so if we can get there fast enough. So these guys are going to keep accelerating. And then bang! They did 30 damage to the hull when they arrived. That's pretty cool. Let's do 30 more damage to the hull just for fun. 40 more damage. What am I talking about? So these guys are about to stealth. Okay, they've stealthed, which I think means they can just sneak right by these turrets. Can they not? Interesting. Let's see if that's true. Let's try to sneak them past her. Oh! Well, thank you for rescuing me from the Tesla field. Well, I guess it didn't completely. Okay, so I came out of stealth. So I think my stealth ships are not doing what I hoped they would do. So I'm gonna let them sit and get all stealthed again and move these guys back up to keep doing damage to the enemy. Oh, hello. I'll launch my flat cannon once I know where all the enemies are. Let's see. I think that's the best move, but it means I want to not bring my stealth guys exactly where I have. Okay, they've brought their fighters to attack my drones, which is bad for me because drones are vulnerable to fighters. And looks like my frigates are sitting here in a Tesla field, which is also bad. But we've won, because because we were sitting next to the battleship and shooting it again and again, and that's how you win. So Cloudcraft wonders, are the ship types really rock, paper, scissors, or is there just different variants of each ship that are better at different combat roles? So I know there's a very clear drones beat frigates, frigates beat fighters, fighters beat drones setup, and then cruisers are really effective at long range but ineffective at close range. So it's kind of a rock, paper, scissors sniper sort of setup between the different ships. But then each ship can also have an additional special ability that gives it extra, some extra thing that it can do. But that extra thing is always on top of the normal rock, paper, scissors. So even my stealth fighters are still particularly vulnerable to frigates when they're unstealthed. Stuff like that. Come on. Just one fuel. What the heck? What are my options here? Battleship wreckage. Let's go. That's usually worth a little bit of fuel. Incoming transmission. If you're looking for supplies, you come to the wrong place, Admiral. We're fresh out. We're fine. So I can ask them about some lore stuff. How can we help? How can we help your people? I'm not sure you can. But we can always use some scrap. Sure, here's some scrap. Thank you, Admiral. I wasn't going to mention this, but we got a battleship weapon. Don't know if it works, but it's been collecting dust. Sure, executioner laser. Okay, so if I decide to, I could swap out my flat cannon, which does 30 damage after 33 seconds, for this executioner laser that does 35 damage after 40 seconds, but only to one enemy? That doesn't seem as good. So I think I might sell it. The advantage of it is, with the flak cannon, I sometimes will hit my own guys by accident, or I'll be restricted from hitting the enemy I want to hit because the only way to hit them is to also hit my own guys. So the executioner laser is more targeted, which is nice, but I kind of like the sheer amount of cast. I think the executioner laser is also much faster. The flat cannon is very slow, and enemies can get out of the way. Let's prepare for this mission. Shankiro asks, what do you look for when you're researching games? That's a really good question. I think that a lot of the time I'll just be kind of keeping my eyes open for some of my favorite websites recommending games. Rock Paper Shotgun and IndieGamesPlus.com are both two really good sites for me. And I'll basically just, I'll keep my eyes out for that. And it's just kind of what catches my eye. It's hard for me to decide. I mean, certainly my favorite games are often ones like this that are roguelikes, that involve a lot of procedural generation, procedural characters, communities, that kind of thing. Because that kind of stuff is very, very directly relevant to the work that I do. And so I'll usually try to play anything like that I see. But beyond that, it really is just sort of what strikes my fancy, like my taste. And okay, I've managed to get my headphones caught in the wheel of my chair, which is going to start ripping them off my head in just a second if I can't. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Awesome. All right, so. Okay, it looks like all of my officers are going to get this entire team killed. So that's not good. And this is not worth it, so we're not going to go. I really like, by the way that this game boils down the odds. Like, you're very rarely presented with a situation where you have mysterious odds or just a simple die roll. You usually have lots of information telling you what your chances of success are. And the chances of success tend to be something like 50-50, so that you always have a really kind of clear idea of the kind of risks that you're taking. Because complex odds can sometimes be frustrating because you think you know what your chances are, and then you're disappointed and you feel like it wasn't your fault, and it can be frustrating. In this game, it's all very clear, and there always feels like there's an alternative to taking a risk. Or a way to hedge your bets, or if I had collected a cleverer set of officers, I could have pulled this off, that kind of thing. And so I find the risks that I take in this game more satisfying than the ones I take in a lot of other games. Well, let's go after this anomaly. Of course, it's a ship. I'm in this sector to do two things: snort Neo-N powder and destroy battleships. And I'm all out of Neo-N powder. The battle is imminent. Okay, so they've got all drones, which means I want to... I just actually got rid of 2 fighters. That was silly. I want to have all fighters, right? I don't see any reinforcements out there. And my last spot will be the artillery. So these guys wait a little bit longer. These guys go here and unpause. All right, so I want to send these guys just careening towards an enemy. Looks like we'll all be avoiding the turrets if we can. I'll let the stealth guys chill back here a little bit. Wait, what? No, why are you going that way, you big dumb fighters? All right, well, I kind of won, I guess. My stealth guys, I want to charge up my stealth guys for a sec. Okay, they do have reinforcements coming in, but they're all drones. So these are boomer drones, which means when I destroy them, it goes badly for me too. But let's do some damage while we can. My stealth guys are now all warmed up, so I'll send them here. Hopefully they'll arrive before the reinforcement. Oh, look, drones and fighters, it looks like. And stealth fighters, it looks like. This is going badly for these dudes, especially with the boomers. So my stealth guys do extra damage right as they're coming out of stealth. Oh, but now they've been knocked back into this turret. That's lovely. Well, let's use a hull breaker laser, just cuz. And can I flat cannon this turret away? Not in time, I can't. Should have done that earlier. All right, well, lost everybody, whatever. Okay, so these guys just got turreted really hard. I guess these guys might be good. I'm not sure why I went with that cruiser. That was dumb, but whatever. Just threw him away again. Who's good to bring out? I guess the flash guys? Oh, let's take this covered position. There we go. So these guys are locked in place because they're engaging with me. These guys are, they almost have their teleporter charged up. And now they've stunned these fighters, and so they have a brief second to try to damage them before the fighters make short work of them. Ah, dang, I thought they would just barely make it. Oh, hello. Gone after my cruiser. That's not good. Actually, not those guys. Let's bring out these guys. Oh, cruiser went away. I'm really sad now. Dang, those boomers are really effective. I have some of my own in my other game, and I don't ever feel like they're as effective for me as they are for the enemy. Oh, look, hullbreaker laser. There we go. All right, suffered some wreckages. Hopefully I can get to a shipyard before the final battle. Is this? Yes, a shipyard. Good. I'll probably use all of my scrap repairing my guys. Oh, so Shankiro asks, have I played Nier Automata? I played a little bit of the beginning of Nier Automata. My tastes tend to run more into like Western games. And so it takes extra effort for me to kind of get over the hump to sort of understand and appreciate games from Japan. And so that's definitely not a knock against those games. It's just more of like just where my wavelength is in my head. And so I was able to sort of see some of what was interesting about it. I especially love the idea of having sort of a brain that you can mess with and break in all kinds of weird ways, which was a fun idea. But I didn't get very far in Nier Automata. I tried it out. And let's see here. Yeah, Cloudcraft guarantees that I won't have the time to get very far. That's true. There are very few games that I actually get to spend the time to actually get to the end of. I'm hoping I'll eventually be able to do it with Crying Suns. I've been playing Noita like crazy lately, and I'm never getting to the end of that game. I'm just never going to get good enough at it. So, you know. Oh, hey there, Beats and Buttons. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, Shankiro and Cloudcraft are saying that I didn't really get to see the proper game of Nier Automata, and I'm not surprised. I've heard about it, and that's the main thing I've been able to appreciate about it, is what people have said to me. Because I don't think it's hard for me to spend a lot of time in a game that is not really on my wavelength, just because, you know, stressful job, lots of kids, and if I'm going to spend, you know, the time, that kind of time on something, it has to be something that I'm obsessed enough with to stay up late with. And if it's something that is not quite on my wavelength and it might induce a little bit of boredom, I'll fall asleep immediately. So I'm not able to pull it off. So looking for good tech? I got all kinds of good tech, all legally procured, of course. 75%. So I already have maximum of this, so I really don't think I want any of this. So, and I can't check my ship. Like when you're buying stuff in dialogue, it's tough because I can't really check my ship and see what it is I think I need. I'll scavenge some Neo-N. Nice! Okay, big pile of fuel. That's good. That's making me feel tough. I want to go deal with this anomaly first, though. This is how I screwed up my game at home that I was playing, is I went to an anomaly right before the final shipyard. There's high levels of radiation. Oh, let's get an officer to decontaminate it. Thanks, Yunseo. All right, I'm glad I've got a good set of officers. Cool. Let's go over to the shipyard, and we've got the quest to talk to the Neo-N child here, which I've never completed, so that'll be interesting. Here we are, sir, the supposed location of the Neo-N child. What do we do? Send a message to the station, Lieutenant. Ready when you are, sir. This is Admiral Idaho of the NS Odysseus. I've come seeking the wisdom of the Neo-N child. Incoming transmission. Admiral Idaho, I've been expecting you. Welcome to my station. I'm the 21st Neo-N child of these sectors. The Silent Sisters have ground some Neo-N, and I have snorted its mystical blue power. Visions fill my mind even now as I speak to you. You have come seeking answers. Maybe I can provide some. Go on. What questions do you have? Where is she, child? Where is Mother? You will find Mother near the folder in the deepest sector of this cluster. She has positioned her warship there in hopes of one day entering other clusters. Her ambitions go far beyond our sectors. It'd be best to avoid her, Admiral. And why is that? Because she will kill you, many times, each time more painful than the last. These are the words of the Neo-N. You have other questions still. What shut down the Omnis? So, for those of you who don't know, the story of this game is about, it was a transgalactic civilization that was run by AI, and then all the AI is shut down, and all of the human survivors are helpless. And so everything's collapsed into chaos. There's a lonely girl with no face. You met her, and yet you didn't. She is everyone, and she is no one at all. It was she who used the key. And yet, search as you will never find the lonely girl, for space is cold and dark, and the screams within go unheard. These are the words of the Neo-N. What does she mean? I don't know, Lieutenant. You have other questions still. We know that to save the people of these sectors, we must reactivate the Omnis, but how? It is uncertain if that is possible, but first a scattered child must become whole again. If that condition is met, and only if, the heir can receive the final answers beyond the far end. The scattered child? The answers beyond the far end? I don't understand. I am only a voice for the words of the Neo-N. I cannot also translate their meaning for you. But is there nothing else you can say? Only one more thing. Travel to the end of the cluster and speak to Mother. She can provide you with additional information. That is, if she doesn't kill you first. I'm afraid you do not know all you need to know to begin your journey. These are the words of the Neo-N. You have other questions still. May I speak to a Silent Sister? They do not speak, Admiral. They cannot. They have no tongues. Mother removed them. You have other questions? No, I don't. I have no more questions for you. It's just as well. The effects of the drug are wearing off. Admiral, we must try to save her. She's just a child. Do not try to save me. I occupy this position by choice. Yes, I will not live long. The Neo-End does not allow for that. A cancer rapidly spreads through my body. I feel it everywhere. And yet I've been fortunate in my 11 years. I've seen many great truths of startling beauty and also wretched darkness. But tell me something, Admiral. Yes? What is it like? What do you mean? The Omni on your ship. But how did you... May I see him? They shut down long before I was born. I've heard stories and I am most curious. Yes, here he is. I don't understand. This is what all the fuss is about? These are the machines that were worshipped as gods? She seemed kind of disappointed. I wish you luck, Admiral, and many battleship weapons. In Mother's sectors, you will find both are needed. End of transmission, sir. All right, well, let's, got a lot of repairs to do, but we only get 5 shots at it. Ooh, I can improve their repair time. What is this? A protector? It's got a shield generator. Oh, add 1 absorb shield to each adjacent friendly unit. Interesting. Well, first, let's repair what we need to repair. So, we're up against Mother, who I believe depends almost entirely on fighters, on boomer fighters. So I think that means I want to repair my fighters, primarily. The Impaler would be good to have in good condition. And my frigate will not matter. My flash drones might. It's either the flash drones or the nano drones. Let's go nano drones. Let's get repair bots for the squadron system. And I think that's all I want. So... I think we're ready for the final boss battle. Just in time. We've got about 13 minutes until my lunch break ends. So this time we're not going to do a cliffhanger. I'm either going to live or die. It's going to be awesome. It's Mother's battleship, sir, in this cluster's folder. Incoming transmission. Look at you and your shiny Telos battleship. So cute. As First Admiral of the Empire, in the name of Oberon, I demand... Demand? You demand nothing, Admiral. I don't know what hole you've been hiding in, but we're free now from Old Man Oberon and his metallic gods. We'll restore these sectors once more to their natural state, Mother, whether you surrender or not. Whether I surrender? Ha! You're too much. Not much longer, you'll be my plaything. I can't wait to get close to you. The battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. So Shankiro asked me real quick before I get started, does Undead Labs get funding from Microsoft to continue updates? If you're allowed to answer. I'm just interested in as a business student. So we are owned by Microsoft, and so we get all of our funding for anything we do from Microsoft. But yeah, we have been basically authorized to continue sort of spending our resources supporting State of Decay 2. You know, Microsoft and we have kind of all recognized that a lot of that you get some benefit from the initial rush of sales of a game, but you also get a lot of benefit from people being committed long term to a franchise and continuing to play a game and make a habit out of playing a game long after the game is released. And so we've all seen the benefit of continuing to support State of Decay 2, continue to expand it and make it better, so that people will continue playing it and some future date, if some future game of the franchise comes out, we'll have an ongoing audience of people who are eager to buy the next iteration of the franchise because we've been supporting them so well up to that point. We'll have built a lot of trust. We'll have people who are still excited about the franchise, and it's going to be good for all of us. And at the same time, because our game's a Game Pass game, and Microsoft gets all the Game Pass subscription money, that's another way to sort of justify the fact that the more people are playing our game, the more value that gives to Game Pass, and so the more money that program will make. And so between both of those justifications, it does make sense for us to continue supporting State of Decay 2. So let's get started. So they've got all drones here. They've got a bunch of drones coming in. So we're about to be overrun with drones. So let's let's overrun them with fighters. So we got a fighter here. We've got a fighter here. Got a fighter there. And let's grab our impaler, stick it back here. Oh, essentially put these guys in the field. So let's see if we can take some useful ground here. Okay, so these guys are good at charging in a straight line. So if I think these drones are going to hit here, they are. And the best thing these guys can do is charge right at them. Okay, the problem is every time I defeat these guys, they explode and they damage my ships. So that's bad. Let's take these guys out. Okay, so I've at least got one set of survivors here, but she recharges her squadrons real fast. So I've got some survivors, but I don't really even know if they're good. Yeah, they're. By the time my survivors get there, she will respawn her troops. So that's unfortunate. What I actually should have done? I should have brought my cruiser in so that I could hit them from afar. Okay, so they're going to be avoiding me, apparently. Grr. Dang! Alright. Well, I've got this. And let's see if I can take these guys out. So I'm losing my guys as fast as they're losing theirs. Except I'm doing more hull damage to them because they're only fielding 3 squadrons at a time most of the time. But I've got 4, and I've got this one in reverse. So even though I'm basically fighting them to a stalemate with my normal ships, this guy is staying alive back here and is firing on them continuously and is taking out their hull one bit at a time. So I'm not going to get much good out of sending frigates at them. I mean, I think just to keep them busy, that might be worthwhile. That's about it. The flash guys might be valuable. So if I can get my frigates under cover, they might be able to do some good. But that is not happening, and I'm just going to retreat right now. So my hull breaker is going to be ready before my flat cannon. These guys will be able to distract them. Okay, let's come in from behind. Sure, that works. So my stealth guys were able to stun them. They all died together. Lovely. Very poetic. I kind of don't want to try to pull my cruiser out. Ah, dang, they still took him down. Ah, that's very unfortunate. Okay, well, and the squadrons are about... Okay, let's try to take out the squadrons. Give them at least a little bit of a delay. Wait, oh, they've got those cheap crap reinforcements. That is garbage. Okay, well, let's do this then, I guess. Okay, well, I was not dang it. I wasn't expecting them to get that close before I launched my cruiser at them. I've got my flat cannon, however. And at close range, it can be fairly effective. I've taken out another one of their hull segments. So that's good. They've got a bunch of ships out again, though. All right, let's get some more fighters out. Let's get my nano drones out. Let's just wait for them. Okay, I guess that works. Certainly helped me too. I expect this frigate to be not very effective against these guys, but at least it'll keep them busy so they don't do too much damage to this ship until somebody else is ready to pop out. So, cruiser and flash. Come on. All right. That's fairly effective. Oh, wait, let's not do that. And everyone dies, as usual. But I can bring the Impaler out again, at least. Oh, hey, look, my weapons are ready. Whew. Okay, so the Impaler's going to keep damaging them. Let's, I mean, I don't have a lot of options here. I never felt nearly as effective as these guys seem to be when I played with their... You can unlock a ship like this with these kinds of squadrons, and I never feel as effective with them as these guys apparently are. So I guess they are losing. Should give myself a little bit more credit. They took down the Impaler. I've got the flat cannon, but I gotta get him to hold still before I use the flat cannon. Ah, dang it. Okay, hold on. Like that. There we go. They still haven't taken down my first hull segment. Meanwhile, I'm doing a lot of damage to them, but I'm just barely limping along. Okay, so that cruiser was pretty effective. If I can keep them off the cruiser long enough, the cruiser can eliminate them. Oh, just in time to get flacked. All right, whatever. Didn't kill anything. So, okay, what I want is a set of ships that can keep them busy while my stealth fighters run up here and damage them like crazy. So let's send these guys up there. Protect my cruiser. It's gonna still be a bit before I am in a position. Oh, crap. They got past my cruiser. Oh, they did enough damage to knock one of my hull bars down. That's what that big explosion is. But I did one of them too, and they're down to their last segment. And I've got somebody right on their doorstep. All right, so let's... Is the Impaler ready? Yeah, the Impaler's ready. Let's start damaging their hull some more. Let's keep them busy with these frigates so they don't get too close. Oh, cool. I stopped their squad. I did enough damage to their squadrons section here that I delayed them, which is nice. So I can keep doing more damage. Ooh, they can't do quite enough to take out my Impaler. And boom! Ha-ha! It's funny, I always thought I'd die from my tumors, not at the hands of an Imperial Admiral in post-Imperial universe. Finish me off, Admiral. What are you waiting for? Why have you waged terror in these sectors? Do you have any idea what life was like before the shutdown? You nobles with your omnis, you never did care how the other 99% lived. You didn't care because we were the ones who did the dirty work. The jobs in your mines and factories you believed were too far beneath you and your precious beloved machines. I did those jobs, Admiral, for years, and so did my parents and their parents before them. Your kind promised us a chance to be rich, a chance to own an Omni one day, a chance to rise. Lies, nothing but lies. And all those lies were a bomb waiting to go off. That bomb went out the day the Omni shut down. I'm sorry you didn't live as you dreamed, I am, but that doesn't condone what you've done in these sectors. You're right, it doesn't. What can I say? The violence. Once I started, I discovered I liked it. You have other questions, don't you, swine? Why did you do it? Why'd you shut down the Omnis in the Outer Rim? The Omnis? Ugh, that's all anyone wants to talk about. Why not talk about the injustices the Empire created? The absurdity of a system that revolved around pieces of metal? Surely you remember, Admiral, that the cost of one Omni was more than a person like me, a miner, can make in a lifetime? Why don't we talk about that instead? But as much as you want to think I shut the Omnis down and know how to turn them back on again, I didn't and I don't. I benefited when they crashed, yes, but I didn't crash them myself. How can you expect me to believe you? A thief, an enslaver, a murderer? Believe what you want, Admiral. It makes no difference to me. Then tell me, Mother, if it wasn't you, who or what did shut them down? I can't say, and to be honest, I don't care. Besides, if I knew something, why would I tell you? Because we're dying, all of us, noble or not, and if we don't turn the machines on soon, it'll be too late. Maybe humans should die, Admiral. Every single one of us. Do you ever think of that? But on second thought, I will offer you a clue. I never liked them anyway. Who? The Church of the Singularity. Just like your kind, they too have spread lies and made many false promises. The Church of the Singularity? Years ago, just after the shutdown, I tortured a missionary trapped in these sectors. He told me the Church had a plan to free the Omnis. In his opinion, that it succeeded in doing so. Why did he tell you this? He was desperate. He thought telling me might save his life. It did not. Why would the Church of the Singularity want to free the machines? I don't know, Admiral. That's for you to figure out. You have other questions, don't you, swine? Nah, we're out of time. So, we'll wrap this up. Doop-de-doop. You're trapped here like everyone else. Are you telling me you think there's active Omnis and clusters beyond this one? Okay, so my character is just finding out that actually the Omnis are shut down everywhere, not just in this sector. So, haha. She's gonna blow up. Ugh. So we're done with this sector, which means we unlock the next sector. I'm sorry, we're done with this chapter, which means we unlock the next chapter, which is set in a different cluster, and the main enemy of that one is the Church of the Singularity. So, but what happens at this point is I don't keep the progress that I've made on my ship and everything. Everything gets reset because if I lose in Chapter 2, the creators of this game didn't want me to have to go all the way back to the beginning of Chapter 1 in order to start over again, because a lot of roguelikes are like that, and it can be really frustrating. They wanted to tell this really long, drawn-out story without giving you the frustration of having to go all the way to the beginning of it every time you wanted to give it an attempt. So they put push a reset button at the beginning of every chapter. You start from scratch at the beginning of every chapter, which means when you die in a chapter, there's no reason to go back any further. You might as well just start exactly at the beginning of that chapter. So your run-throughs in this game are shorter and more manageable than they would be otherwise, which I really appreciate. All right, so I'm skipping through stuff because my lunch break's over and I want to kind of, show what it looks like to go to the next chapter. So this is a folder which we can use to go to the next cluster. And we're going to go to the church cluster. So here we go. So Cloudcraft asks, is there new gameplay or progression content in the new chapters? Yeah, so you start seeing, I think, a greater variety of options. You also can change up the ship that you're using. So you can, so they've just unlocked the Chaos class battleship, which has different limitations and each ship has got upgrades that they can and can't add, and so you get a different combination of options, some different starting abilities. And so like this one, you end up with a bunch of boomer drones and the ability to recharge them quickly, just like what I was seeing from that enemy. So you kind of get the abilities of the enemy that you just defeated, sort of. And so that was cool. So yeah, so if we wanted to start a new run in the next chapter, we start over at the beginning here. So this time I could pick a Chaos class, and you can see the upgrades here on the left side. A lot of them are much more restricted with the Chaos class. But it starts with 1,000,000 drones, and it also starts with, there's at least one upgrade that, up here, the Brutal Deployer upgrade, which means that your squadron dock recovery is twice as fast. So when you lose a squadron, they come back really quickly, but they come back with a quarter health. But that's fine if all of your squadrons are boomer drones, because you want them to die fast and take the enemy out. They're like suicide bombers, or like more like kamikazes. So it's a different mix. It's hard. It's probably a slightly harder way to play, but it's interesting. So it's relatively fairly balanced there. You also are limited. You can only assign one officer to each system in the Chaos class, whereas in the Excelsior you could assign more. So it's kind of more restrictive on your officers. It gives you less ability to sort of double up some of their abilities and make your drones super powerful, which I understand. Anyway, I'm actually not going to get started here. Oh, the other thing I should mention though. As you progress through all of the different chapters, you unlock not only those ships, but also special officers that are more powerful than the vanilla officers you can usually get. So like, if I select Wheeze is added to the list up here, and gives me these, a greater variety of skill options than the other guys do. So you can also, progressing through the game, you can also unlock more of these guys, which will have more special abilities and more skills. So, but I'm gonna get out of here right now, because my lunch break's over and it's time to go. So, thanks for sticking with me through all this. I did 3 videos on this game, which is, usually a little bit more than I do. I'm usually just hopping from game to game, playing for an hour, and then either continuing to play it at home while moving on to something else, or just moving on to something else. But Crying Suns just captured my imagination so much. I really wanted to spend some time digging into it. So thanks for coming along on this ride with me. Next week, we'll be playing other stuff, like whatever that is. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's probably cool. And The Outer Worlds and Call of Duty both just came out, so who knows what I'll be what I'll be doing.